Welcome to Monmouth in Focus, a comprehensive look at Monmouth County, the place you want to be. Monmouth County is centrally located in the state with 27 miles of Atlantic Ocean shoreline, nationally recognized parks, state-of-the-art libraries, school systems, and public services. Monmouth County is home to more than 660,000 residents. It's a great place to work and live. Monmouth in Focus will highlight county services that are readily available to you as a Monmouth County resident. Thanks for joining us for Monmouth in Focus. You'll know why Monmouth County is the place you want to be.
Hello and welcome to Monmouth in Focus, a program about the services and functions of Monmouth County government. I'm Cynthia Scott, your host for this segment of Monmouth in Focus. Monmouth County government provides a wealth of services for its residents, and getting connected to some of those services has just gotten easier thanks to an initiative by Monmouth County Clerk Claire French and her office. It has opened the Monmouth County Connection. To tell us about the Monmouth County Connection, passports, and more is County Clerk Claire French. Thanks so much for joining us, Claire.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you here on Monmouth in Focus. Claire, congratulations on the opening of County Connection. Let's talk about what that is and how exciting it is.
Thank you so much. Well, we needed a facility that could better serve the, the population in Monmouth County. And we did a survey to find out where the most population was. Two-thirds of the population is closer to a location that we picked for this new facility. It's in Neptune on Route 66, across the street from Walmart, right next to Home Depot, and it has public transportation. So we brought county government closer to the people.
So really a very busy area down there, and it's so true. So now those people that live in that area do not have to go to Freehold anymore. They can access whatever needs they need through the clerk's office right there on 66.
Yes, some of our services.
Okay.
You still have to go to Freehold to record a document if you're doing it in person or by mail. However, remember you can record documents electronically in my office too.
Right.
We're trying to find ways to either use technology so that people don't have to come to the office, or if people want to come in person for a specific service, that we make it easier for them. And part of it is location, and part of it is that it's accessible because of where it's located.
Sure.
And also expanded hours. Expanded hours make a big difference.
What are the hours there?
Well, most government offices in Freehold close at 4:30. The office hours in the new County Connection are expanded hours till 6 o'clock Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. on Tuesday and Thursday, and they're also open on Saturday from 9 till 1 o'clock. This allows people to have the ability not to take a day off from work simply because they have to come in person for something, such as a passport.
Right. Trying to make it easier and more accessible for the people is so important in this day and age.
Right.
Let's talk about these specific services that that office has to offer.
Well, the passport office is there, and that will be, I'm sure, very busy because it's patterned after other satellite offices that other counties have had in other parts of the state. And when you bring that service closer to the people, it becomes very popular. We also will do notaries there. We will assist people in their application to be a notary. We'll also swear people in there for notaries. I've invited all 63 of the county departments to come and play a role there part-time whenever they want to run a program. It has a meeting room. The Veterans Services will be there. The IDs will be done there. A person can get a government ID there. The requirements are the same as for a passport, so this government-issued ID is a secure one. And we're very happy that we also have a Veterans ID card that is something brand new that the governor allowed this year by law. It's a government-issued ID for veterans. They have to file their DD-214, which is their service record, with us. We digitize it, and we give them back their original. It's kept in a secure place, so if their family ever needs a certified copy of it, they can get it, but it is not for the public to view.
Right.
They can use this card for discounts. It was signed by the governor this year, and it's very popular. A lot of veterans are coming in to get it.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about passports, because I would imagine that's going to be the most popular thing coming out of the County Connection as well as the clerk's office. But so, especially with the U.S. government tightening up security and how to access your passport, what are some of the new rules, if any at all, that people need to know about when it comes to getting a passport?
Well, you have to always respect the fact that the United States American passport is the most valuable document in the world. And the security is very strict. A person has to prove who they are to us to have a passport issued. We help them with that application, and we send that to the National Passport Office, who actually issues it. Sometimes when people are traveling to different islands or places that they've been to before, but their passport may expire within 6 months, that country may not allow them to even enter that country if their passport expires while they may be there. So it's important that they call us, tell us their travel plans, and we'll accommodate them. So the passport is a good thing to have, and most families now are taking advantage of having a passport for all members of the family.
Sure.
If you plan to travel even with a little baby, I had a call the other day, would we need a passport for this little baby? If you want to leave this country and you want to come back to this country, every person has to have a passport.
So even an infant has to have a passport.
Yes.
Now, the passports for adults are good for 10 years?
Yes, they are good for 10 years. Children, it's only 5 years, simply because their image changes.
Absolutely.
So the passport for the fees have been changed. The new fees for an adult are $135, and for a minor under 16, $110. So they're getting more expensive.
Right.
They're getting more expensive, definitely.
And if you need to get a passport sooner, you pay a little bit more, and it will come within a few weeks.
You can expedite it.
Sure.
In most cases, we tell people 4 to 6 weeks, but they have been coming right now about 3 to 4 weeks.
Right.
But you can expedite it even shorter time if necessary. And if a person has a crisis, they're traveling tomorrow, and this happens a lot, and they notice their passport expired, they can actually call for an appointment in either Philadelphia or New York, and by appointment only, with their proof of travel, come and get the passport the same day.
The same day, in case they have an emergency or need something like that. Okay.
Yes.
So somebody who's going to utilize the connection for a passport will go, they'll fill out all of the information, or they can find out the information online, bring it with them, and obviously get it processed. What sort of information do they need to bring with them? Driver's license, credit cards?
Well, they need, first of all, a birth certificate with a raised seal. They'll need their Social Security number. They'll need a couple of other forms of ID. It's important to call the passport office to make sure that they have everything they need.
Sure.
They'll also need a photo, and my new office does take photos so that they can get their photo right there while they're getting their passport.
Okay, so I know that sometimes the whole passport process can be a little overwhelming, but really it's pretty easy. If you just, fill out the right information and you have the proper identification, it really is not an overwhelming experience at all.
No, and part of the reason that I have this new satellite location is we want to be user-friendly. When someone needs a passport or any of the services that'll be offered in that building, we want to be user-friendly. You come in to that office, open that door, and we'll make you welcome for whatever service you want.
And speaking of services, are any other county departments going to be providing services out of the office in Neptune?
Yes, the circuit will be coming on her regular schedule. And the Office of Veteran Affairs will be there either weekly or every month. We are also opening it to other entities, nonprofits that need a meeting space. For instance, SCAN, which is the Senior Citizens Activity Network, very popular organization that operates out of the Monmouth Mall. They'll run some programs in our location because we have a meeting room there. We also will be the first office in a county government that will have video conferencing so that we can actually run classes with someone that can be in any part of the country and not have to travel here to educate people.
Wow.
So that's something that's new, and we're working with our sheriff to make that possible in our office.
Right, absolutely. Now, how did the whole idea come about?
Basically, requests from the public. We often did find people have to come for a passport, say, and they didn't realize that the father had to be there and the mother for the child, or there was one document they were missing. Well, they took a day off from work to get there, had to be there before 4:30, and that was a great inconvenience to them. And if it was mom and dad and they both worked, well, then that was two people inconvenienced for travel and for their jobs. So we thought, we have to open this at night. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense to open it in freehold because our whole building would have to be opened. We'd have to have security. We'd have to have all the staff that goes with operating our normal business. So you can come at night there, you can come on Saturday. We also had a request from Asbury Park and from Neptune, people that felt they were underserved by county government. Well, we're there to serve them.
Absolutely.
And the public transportation right in front of the door makes a difference.
There you go. Like I said, we know that the clerk's office is in Freehold Borough, and that could be, you know, it's not a hop, skip, and a jump for people who live in the Asbury Park
It's fine
area,
for Western Monmouth.
Absolutely. And let's switch gears a little bit.
Sure.
One of your other offices that we just mentioned hit a milestone in the fall of 2012. Let's talk about that and how exciting that is.
Well, I'm very happy to say that a portal, which is an electronic means of recording documents in my office without, again, coming to the office, was something I designed in 2003. I then offered it to all the other counties in New Jersey, and currently 13 counties are partnering with this. Mm. That means that people can record a document from any place in the world, rather than come to Freehold or send it in the mail and not know for sure if it got to us. So it's very secure, very popular. And we just recorded our 1 millionth document.
Oh, wow.
So little by little, each county that came on board experiences the success of electronic recording. And in the long run, it makes sense for everybody because it does eliminate positions over the years, and that's a savings to the county.
Right.
In my office, 3 positions by attrition have been eliminated already, and that's money that will never have to be paid for salaries going forward.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You know, with technology, you know, certainly, I would imagine the clerk's office has to change as technology changes, as with any other office.
Technology is a great tool.
Mm-hmm. All right, Claire, thanks so much for joining us today. Always a pleasure to have you.
My pleasure. Thank you,
Great to
Cynthia.
see you. For more information about the clerk's office, you can log on to www.visitmonmouth.com. That's all the time we have for this segment of Monmouth in Focus. I'm Cynthia Scott. Have a great day, everyone.
I get to be part of a veterinary healthcare team and help take care of animals. I got my start at Brookdale's short-term, non-credit training program.
To learn more on how to get your start at Brookdale, visit brookdalecc.edu/training.
I get to implement solar energy programs that maximize my clients' long-term energy production. It's great for the environment, and it also saves my customers a lot of money on their energy bills. I got my start through Brookdale's short-term, non-credit training program.
Visit our website, brookdalecc.edu/training.
This is Brookdale Community College. You are watching Brookdale Television.
Hello and welcome to Monmouth in Focus, a program about the services and functions of Monmouth County government. I'm Cynthia Scott, your host for this segment of Monmouth in Focus. To give us a look at what's happening at Brookdale Community College is Brookdale's president, Dr. Maureen Murphy, joining us here today on Monmouth in Focus. Thanks so much for joining us. A pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Dr. Murphy, you took over the reins as president in July.
I did.
Tell us how it's going so far.
It's going great. I can't imagine being at a better place than Brookdale Community College. We are busy. Fall semester has started. We're full of students, and life is just good.
Absolutely. Well, that's great to hear. Tell us about some of the priorities, short-term, that you are working on as president. Sure.
We have lots of things going on at Brookdale Community College, and some of the things that we're doing is sort of touting our own good work. We are publicizing our student success indicators. Our students do really well. We have very high graduation and transfer rates. Our retention is very good. We're also looking at a strategic enrollment plan. We're looking at all of the areas of the county and how we can serve people that we might be missing. The county is changing, and we need to change with the county. We're doing an independent IT audit right now of our enterprise systems to look for efficiencies. Students anymore, in fact, every organization right now expects top-flight IT services. So we want to make sure that we are right there at the cutting edge. Brookdale has a reputation for being technologically savvy, so we need to keep ourselves there. You know, the easiest thing and probably the most fun part is just promoting our successes throughout the county. People need to remember that we're here to serve all of the residents of Monmouth County, and we have lots of services, so we're doing that. And we're also up for our 5-year Middle States Progress Report, so that's keeping us pretty busy. That's just part and parcel of what we do.
And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, as well as, you know, the students at Brookdale. But you mentioned the strategic plan. What is a strategic plan to this college?
Well, one of the things that I walked into was a newly formed strategic plan, which is pretty wonderful. What it is, it's all of the college community coming together and setting a vision for where the college is going. Analyzing some data, taking a look at what's happening in the world around and saying, this is who we are, this is where we're going. And now, the things that I just talked about are part and parcel of how we implement strategies to achieve those goals. So we have 4 strategic goals, and I think they're pretty clear and pretty focused. You know, one is to inspire student success. It's not enough that students walk in our doors. We want them to complete what they started, to achieve their goals, and to move on to become productive citizens in this region.
Absolutely. So it's like a footprint for the future, in a sense.
Exactly. And we need to maximize our resources. We're in a recession. Money's tight. We need to make sure that we're spending our money wisely so that we can provide the best services to our students and to our communities that we can. We're looking, and this kind of builds off the last one, but we're also looking at strengthening our alliances and partnerships. We have lots of partnerships throughout the county. We need to make those stronger. We need to look for new ones so that we make sure that we're providing the services we need to. And we need to leverage our excellence so that we can hit the next level as we move to the future.
And partnerships are so important in this day and age.
Absolutely.
You mentioned students. Let's talk about students, the diverse population that we have here at Brookdale, recent high school graduates, people that have been in the workforce for years, coming back. It's really quite an array of students here, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We serve the people who come to us, and we've had, over the past several years, all community colleges have had just a spike in enrollment. We've had, and it follows demographic trends. We've had a large growth in that population that would become traditional age college students. That's kind of leveled off now. And we at Brookdale, we do that really well. We have excellent programs for the right out of high school student who is looking to begin the post-secondary career and transfer to a university. We do that really well. But you're right. We have returning adult students who are coming back to get different kinds of education because their jobs have changed. They've experienced some economic instability, or perhaps, you know, they're just looking at career changes altogether. So really over 30% of our students fall into that category. We have immigrant students who are moving from other countries into Monmouth County, and we serve them through many non-credit programs that lead into certificates that will enable them to get employed pretty quickly. And we have a really vibrant non-credit division that provides workforce training for businesses and industries in the county.
Right, and there's so much to offer there. I get that booklet in the mail, and I look through it, and I'm like, my goodness, there is a lot there. Even if you want to take it as a hobby, you can take a class and just to learn. You don't have to utilize it for the future if you don't want to, but just to have knowledge of it.
Absolutely. There's everything from, personal interest courses, and I'll tell you, our trips, our educational trips are just really highly subscribed, to things that you might need open enrollment courses to help people build skills for their jobs. Or to, one example, one area where we're really busy is with, different kinds of software. It changes quickly. And so we are we're poised to provide the training so people can learn that as quickly as possible.
And Dr. Murphy, there's a plan to look at the facilities at the Lincroft campus and some of the other locations as well. Is it a plan to upgrade? Is it a plan to maintain those buildings, or what?
Well, we have a facilities master plan, which is also another kind of strategic plan. You have to know where you're going. And we have developed that based on looking at demographics and demographic projections for what's going on in Monmouth County. The first level of work that we're going to do in facilities, of course, is to take care of the maintenance of the buildings that we have. At Lincroft, frankly, most of the buildings are pretty old. And so we need to make sure that we are keeping them up, that we're keeping all the systems going, that the heating and the air conditioning work, that the water works, and that's really an all-encompassing project. However, we do have 5 other locations, and we're looking to expand those because that's where the people are. We have a full branch campus in Freehold, our Western Monmouth campus. Right now, we're okay there, but by 2020, we could double that enrollment. And so we have to plan for that facility and what it is that we might do to meet the needs of the future students that we have. We have a location at Hazlitt. That too could grow.
Right.
We have a location in Long Branch. We have a location in Neptune, which is at capacity. And we have a location at Wall, which is at capacity. So we need to be able to plan to build out, as monies become available, the locations where the students actually are. Not everybody's in Lincroft anymore.
Exactly. Which is good.
It is good. It is good.
The county is spread out. The Board of Chosen Freeholders, they have a longstanding commitment to supporting Brookdale Community College, and they appoint the trustees seats.
They do.
Tell us who fills those seats.
Okay, great. We have a large Board of Trustees. There's 13 board members. 8 of them are appointed by the Board of Chosen Freeholders. 2 of them are gubernatorial appointees, and 1 is filled by the county superintendent of schools.
Okay.
1 is, and I love that New Jersey does this, 1 is a trustee that is elected from the student body. It's a graduate trustee. So we have a recent graduate who is sitting on the board giving input as well. And then there's the president who sits ex officio.
Okay, that's great. And when it comes to just students in general, obviously, a good student's probably also going to have a good professor. Let's talk about the diversity among professors as well. Full-time professors and adjunct professors in the working field who teach 1 or 2 classes.
Sure.
That's important, especially at a community college like Brookdale.
Well, our faculty are specialists in lower division education. They teach more than you see faculty at research universities teach, for example. So their commitment is to student learning. You raise a really good point. It's very important to have the proper mix of full-time and part-time faculty. The full-time faculty provide us with a content expertise, a stability, and the ability to have a longer range vision of where curriculum is going. The adjuncts bring in that outside real-world experience and, oftentimes enrich the student's experience a whole lot with things that our full-time faculty do not see. So you have to have that balance. It's really important. And I'm really pleased that Brookdale is an organization that has invested in its faculty, in their professional development. We have a good, robust number of faculty. We have a lot of diversity in backgrounds, in ages, so our students get a really complete experience.
Absolutely. And you drive around Brookdale, especially someone that's new to the area, and When you drive around campus, you don't think of this as a community college. You know, it's vast, and there's a lot going on here. And again, like you had said, you have to keep up with the upgrades. How about some major renovations? I know that the Freeholders are helping you out with as well, to some big buildings here.
Well, in the past several years, we had some large building projects, which I think have really helped not just the college, but the community.
Sure.
We built the Collins Arena. We have the rec center, which is open to the community as well as to all of our students, and the Auto Technology Center, which is this building right here that we're in now. And they're all state-of-the-art, beautiful buildings, built green, which is good. We have to do that for the future, and it's just made an enormous contribution to what's going on here.
It's so true, because, you know, we're here at the ATEC building in the TV studio, and I say this is one of the best kept secrets about Brookdale. There's a great TV studio here, great control room. I mean, a really talented bunch of people that make it all happen. So we have a little bit of time left, Dr. Murphy, and I do want to talk about your background, because I think that's really important, and what you can bring to Brookdale as president.
Well, I have a really traditional background. I started out as a faculty member. We're living in St. Louis. I was working at St. Louis Community College teaching English. I was just happy as could be. I thought that was my career path, and I thought that that's where I would retire. And what happened, it's funny how life sometimes happens. And the person who was the dean for my division unexpectedly, well, to us, took another job over the summer. And the president was looking for somebody to fill in. And I got tapped. I wasn't even the first choice. I was the third choice. I always joke that I got the job because I answered the phone. The other two people weren't home. And I stepped in as an interim dean, and I found that really administration was pretty interesting. What I saw was that I was in a position to be able to facilitate things so that the faculty could get done the things they needed to get done. I was removing roadblocks and enabling people to do creative things. I kind of like that.
Right.
And so that just sort of grew into a career. And so from Missouri, I went to Virginia, where I was vice president of both academic and student affairs. And from there, I went to Texas, where I was president of San Jacinto College South. So it's, it's kind of a traditional background.
Sure.
In my heart, I think I'm still a classroom teacher, and I try to teach a class every couple of years just so that I remember the real people.
Great. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Dr. Murphy, thanks so much for joining us today. It's such a pleasure to meet you. And,
Thank you.
And best of luck in the future.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is all the time we have for this segment of Monmouth in Focus. More about Brookdale Community College, you can visit www.visitmonmouth.com. I'm Cynthia Scott. Have a great day, everyone.